That was wild. That sounded weird,
The
didn't it?
remix of the other.
I don't know what happened there.
That
I
was really
pushed the
weird.
normal button, but it sounded different. Uh, oh, I'm getting an echo off somebody. That's what's
Okay.
happening. Um, so I'm hearing it twice.
Twice.
Who's doing that?
I was
We'll
about
try to
ready to
figure out.
set up my phone differently, but I'll keep it vertically.
You
Might
can
be.
do it however you like. I'm just trying to figure out where the echo was coming from, but we got it figured out. I think. I think we're good to go
Hello?
now. So welcome, boys, to the Loco Sports Lowdown Thursday night edition. Yeah, I'm getting a little feedback off somebody. Thursday night edition. We got a lot of stuff. I titled it crossover season because we're into it. We've got not only round 2 of the high school football playoffs kicking off tomorrow night, Friday night, but also the college basketball season for our Loco purposes tips off tomorrow night as well. USCB men on the road at Francis Marion, neutral site game up first Friday, and then they'll get a true road game against Francis Marion on day 2 of that event on Saturday, and the USCB women opening at home. And we'll have Kevin Libby, our resident USCB women's basketball aficionado, coming on to talk in the third half of the show, the third half. in the C block to talk about USCB women's basketball. He'll be helping out with some calls this weekend, and they'll be home against Ferrum College tomorrow night at 5:30 and UVA Wise at 7:30 on Saturday. And there will be other games after them and before them, not non USCB games. So a lot of basketball in the Cove this weekend, but. We'll also have our football previews. We got 6 games to preview, but we also have some news, and Max will report in a little bit on some soccer news. But we had some bigger news that we'll move up front here. So, but first, the show brought to you by Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our all-star sponsors. Mickelson Law Firm been with us since the beginning, and one of our longest sponsor and our biggest sponsor all these years. They can help you with all your legal needs, but they are our official real estate closing attorney and presenting sponsor of our Hilton Head Christian Academy coverage, thanks to Mickelson Law Firm and WHHI TV, our great partner in local sports. And we're so grateful to share you, Marcus Walsh, with WHHI TV.
Likewise.
But you guys are wrapped up your football game schedule for the season, but you got your postseason broadcast coming on. Your season recap. You're going to be able to do a season recap this year?
I had said a couple of weeks ago, I think just with some other things going on,
okay,
the ship sailed. So Daniel and I did our 5-minute kind of season recap that aired
that's what
a good couple of weeks ago. Yeah.
Gotcha.
But we're going to be onto the holiday shopping showcase right now. I'm going to wait a few weeks to bug Jessa and Jeremy about a basketball schedule. They need a little bit of a sports break, I think, for the most part. Do some other things. But
I heard that you guys are streaming the Hilton Head Christian Academy Wilson Hall game tomorrow night, though.
Okay, I was not aware of that because I'm going to be at the
or at least
Wilson
that there
Hilton
was
Head
some
game.
chance of it. But JP let me know that I guess because you have partners up there, right? You have sister station up that way.
Yeah, right. And that would make sense. We called it earlier this week. We called it the Burn Bowl, the Burn Classic, if you will, because we've got all of our folks up there. Wayne Morris, is the head guy up that way. Yeah. His kids go to Wilson Hall. Daniel Court is actually going to be at that game. And I said, by all means, and obviously Liliana goes to Hilton Head Christian Academy. I said, by all means, especially because Max and I will both be calling the Hilton Head Wilson game. By all means, text me score updates, and I'll definitely get them on the air on Beaufort's Own. So he said he will do that. He's going to be there at that ball game. That should be quite a matchup. We've got a lot of good ones. So yeah, that's great news, certainly for us. But yeah, we're taking a little bit of a reprieve for the moment. But we'll be doing basketball. About the second week or so of January for the month. So with my schedule kind of being altered and doing a little bit of less singing, definitely planning on getting into gyms and doing as much scouting as I can once we know our schedule. And so we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah. Looking forward to that. But yeah, I did hear that. JP told me, I think yesterday, that they were
Okay.
hoping to be able to stream the game. So we shall
Good
see.
deal.
But yeah, that would be great for us because we can keep tabs on HHCA on the road. But no, we do have some news that we should attend to. Most notably, the coaching carousel has begun.
Yep.
I wouldn't say it's shocking. Adam Kinlock out at Colleton County. And I mean, he went 4-27 in 3 years. It was hard to see a lot of progress on the field, at least. But I don't think that tells the whole story there at all. And I'm going to share a perspective from somebody that's much closer to the program and understands it better than I do. Shared on social media tonight as soon as I can find it. But I hate to see it. I really hate to see it, but I also understand it. There's a lot that goes into that. There's community pressure. There's always politics. You've got a school board, you've got a principal, you got an AD. They may not all be in lockstep on which direction they want to go with their program, and they may all be looking at different things when they evaluate
another thing that I have to bring up, which is really unfortunate, and I'm not speaking for Colleton County because I don't know the situation necessarily, but parents are part of the issue too.
For sure. And so I think it's a complicated thing, but let me share this perspective, which was posted on Facebook tonight by or earlier today, I guess, by a gentleman from Walterboro who appears to be pretty deeply involved with the community and with these kinds of things. And he said, this is Mr. Kiwi Rose. He said the beginning of the Kinlock era wasn't easy, but real change never is. When Coach Kinlock first arrived, he inherited a program facing serious challenges both on and off the field. We had players, linemen included, who couldn't even lift 135 pounds. Yet the school board and the community expected this team to compete at a 4A football level. But the challenges went far deeper than football. Many of these young men were battling things most adults couldn't imagine. Gang tensions, fights, shootings, and divided loyalties that made it hard for them to even play as one team. Some players refused to block or play for one another simply because of conflicts from the streets. Coach Kinlock didn't turn his back. He stepped in and rebuilt their trust, their discipline, and their belief in each other. Then came a new rule from the athletic department. If players didn't maintain a 75% overall average, they couldn't play, and grades were checked every Thursday before game day. It was unheard of. But instead of complaining, Coach Kinlock created a tutoring system, bringing teachers and coaches together to give up their free time to help players not just stay eligible, but succeed academically. The result, a 100% graduation rate since Coach Kinlock became head coach. Now, I can't verify any of these facts. This is one person posting this.
So but that
in mind.
shows he did an admirable job, and really.
Right. And I'm not done. There's much more.
Grades are. Football is obviously important, but grades are what really put you in a good position in the future. And he really did a good job of getting these kids not just working hard in the football field, but succeeding in the classroom. So I commend Coach Kinlock for you. It's just a really tough situation he was brought into with everything going on in the background over in Colleton.
And that's just year one.
And having to play in a tough region too in 4A football is not easy.
Sure.
For that.
And then in year two, it began with a major gang fight just before the first game, costing the team 5 to 6 key players for the entire season. In the following days, some players' homes were shot up, and once again, it was Coach Kinlock and his staff stepping in, not just as coaches, but as peacemakers and mentors. They kept the team together and kept teaching these young men that there's a better way to deal with life struggles. Year 3 opened with heartbreak. One of our players was shot 7 times. The team was devastated. The district provided no counseling or mental health support. It was Coach Kinlock and his staff who became the emotional backbone for these kids, listening, supporting, and guiding them through their pain. Once again, I remind you that I have not verified these facts. This is one person's post, so there could be nuance to a lot of this. Despite losing key seniors to transfers and battling low numbers, only 30 players competing on a 4A schedule, Coach Kinlock still found ways to keep his team growing. He organized an in-house team camp where players and coaches lived, learned, and bonded together for 3 days. It wasn't just football. It was about building character, teamwork, and manhood. For the first time, the team made it through camp without fighting or gang-related incidents. That's real progress. And while we're asking these kids to compete with schools twice our size and resources, we also expect them to do so on one of the worst fields in the state many visiting teams have called unsafe, which I'm not aware of that. I thought their field was.
I'm very unaware of that too. I've only been
maybe
there once.
Maybe the
It's
actual
immaculate
surface
to
is
me.
bad. It looks good, but maybe
It looks great.
Maybe it's bad footing. I don't know.
Could be.
Yet through it all, this coaching staff keeps showing up, keeps believing, and keeps giving these kids a chance to be more than their circumstances. So, he says the bigger picture, we've all seen the comments online, but let's be honest, any other coach might have given up on these kids, and that's a fact. Coach Kinlock didn't. He chose to invest in them as students, as athletes, and as young men. We must stop comparing these young players to the Bulldogs or Cougars of the early 2000s. These are different times and different kids. Today's youth face new struggles. They're more isolated, more emotional, and many have endured trauma that requires real professional counseling and care. Football isn't just a game for them, it's a lifeline. Being the head coach of Colleton County is not an easy job. You're dealing with gang violence, a divided community, and leadership that doesn't always understand what it takes to build a successful program from the ground up. Turning a culture around takes time, at least 4 to 5 years, and the progress is already visible under Coach Kinlock's leadership. I cannot disagree with anything in there.
I can't
but I also understand why an administration would feel like maybe they needed that he had done what he could do, but they needed the next person to take it to the next level. But that requires that you attract that person, right?
Right.
Chris Myers has a big hire in front of him, and I don't know that Chris was the one who ultimately made this decision, because administrators and boards can be heavy-handed with these things at times, and I don't know the political ins and outs of that situation. I don't know who ultimately said, you're not a football coach anymore. I plan to talk to people and try to find out a little bit more context. But at the same time, I think there's two different things to evaluate there. And one of them is that program building and culture building. But at the end of the day, you have to teach them X's and O's too. And if that wasn't happening,
that's
then
the job description.
that's a missing element. And I love Kinlock. I think he's been a terrific coach. Is a terrific coach. Maybe it was over his head. Maybe he just wasn't quite ready for that. And so maybe the next time he'll be better prepared. I guarantee you that. And I think he will get another chance. People think really fondly of him at Whale Branch. There's going to be other dominoes that fall. Somebody's going to take that Colleton job. There's going to be an opening somewhere. I think he lands on his feet, and I think in the right place, he will take the lessons he learned from this experience at Colleton County and be a better coach for it, and perhaps be able to start a rung up on the ladder as far as building culture from where he did this first time around.
Go ahead.
Yeah, just like I said, coaching, there are so many different aspects to it, and what he did to build up these players as individuals and good people and academically strong is tremendous. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is the job description is a football coach is more. There's a lot of different duties, and all are important, but there is the importance of putting together a competitive football team. And I feel for him, because it's a tough place to build a competitive football team at times, and I think he would have wished he could have done a couple of things differently throughout these last 3 years. But I thought he did an admirable job. But at the end of the day, it's just when you have those seasons that we saw, and certainly you're punching above your weight class a lot, even though you're a 4A school, you're up against some quality teams. But it's unfortunately an important aspect of being a coach is that when the results are not entirely there, there's pondering and things will change. So all the best to Coach Kinlock. Great guy, a tremendous individual, and certainly made a great impact on a program where there were a lot of, just tensions and tough moments and adversity. And I think he made a lot of positive contributions. And I thought this team competed to a level that we haven't seen. Like,
Right.
I thought they were commendable in some of their games this year. Just couldn't quite get the results that they needed. But once again, a very tough region, and this is, as you said, a great learning experience for Kinlock. I think he's going to get an opportunity somewhere in the very soon, and I think he's going to just take what he learned from this experience and use it to better himself as an individual and as a professional, whatever he decides to do in terms of coaching or whatever else. But I think he's I absolutely think he deserves another opportunity in the coaching ranks around this area or somewhere else in the state. So I'm proud of what he has done. Colleton, it can be a tough area at times, especially, for a team that sometimes doesn't have the same resources in terms of the wealth of talent compared to other areas. But at the same time, they have expectations. They want to be competitive in this region. They want to compete for a region championship as much as Bluffton and May River Hilton Head does, and they want to take that next step. So it's a big time hire, a big time hire. And I'm really interested in terms of what this job could attract. And I mean, the upside is right there. It's if you can really create and cultivate that talent and find success as an X's and O's coach. I mean, the opportunity is there. So I'm very interested on who will be interested in taking a chance in this opportunity, which I think could certainly pay off if you're the right kind of coach or the right kind of individual. So yeah, it's a very important hire in the direction of this program moving forward.
I agree with a lot of what you said, Wes. I take a little bit of a biased stand with this, and it's because of the connection that I have with Colleton County, and the individual is the bigger part rather than just the coach. And I'm not taking anything away from Coach Kinlock's abilities.
Yeah.
But
right.
I've got a lot of feelings going on in my head right now. I will implore everybody, and I will repost it. Watch the interview that I did with Dustin Owsley on Facebook. He is the JV girls volleyball coach. He is the performing arts director at Colleton County as well. And oh, by the way, he travels at least once a week. Sometimes, I guess in the last week, he spent 3 days on Hilton Head before even going back to his family in Summerville, South Carolina, to direct a couple of choruses on Hilton Head. From what I have heard and the little bit that I've witnessed of Colleton County, Adam Kinlock was that kind of leader of people, that kind of wrong word choice here, but grammatically, but inspirer of people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what that area needs.
Yeah.
They need more Adam Kinlocks. They need more Dustin Owsleys. And I'm very sad that this certainly has happened to Adam. I get it because again, wins are important, but to set the stage to create a change of culture, that big of a change of culture from an area that is so used to crime and violence and hardship and negativity into an area of positivity, that's a huge thing. And as hard as I'm sure it is for Adam and his family right now, a little bit later on down the line, he will definitely have his head held high, if he doesn't already, for what he was able to do for that community. There is no doubt in my mind.
I guarantee he does. I mean, he put his heart and soul into it. I don't think anybody's really questioning that. There's a couple things working against him that we haven't really mentioned yet. One of them is the sheer size of that county and their attendance zone. You got kids living in rural areas a long way from Walterboro, a good like 30, 45 minutes away from Walterboro. And many of them are working in Hampton or in Allendale or some other place and in the opposite direction. And they can't get their kids to summer workouts. They can't get their kids to, they can't pick up their kids from practice. So they battle that kind of stuff. And then the other thing is, when your program's been down for a while, it's really hard to attract assistant coaches who have experience. And so you had a first-time head coach with a lot of inexperienced assistant coaches, and that's a tough situation.
It is.
I hope they can attract someone with some more experience this time around, that also has that reputation or that past history of building a culture and turning around a difficult culture. But that's hard to find. It's hard to find.
I think for me, obviously Adam Kinlock has one of the best personalities I've ever seen in a head coach from this area. I mean, he is just truly a one of a kind person. But I think what he's done, now that he has left Colleton County, I think what he has done is build a foundation for the next coach to build upon. And I think that's the most important thing. For Colleton County and whoever their next head coach will be, is they have a solid foundation there for them. But I think the one thing I think of when I look at Colleton County, if I wanted to compare it with someone in terms of Adam Kinlock's situation that he had at Colleton County, I look at Ed Susie over at Battery Creek. They're playing in a region where just all the schools they're playing are bigger.
Very similar. The parallels are real.
Yeah. And it makes it difficult for a program to grow. And, you can see the comparisons between those two programs of Battery Creek and Colleton County. And I think hopefully with whenever the next realignment comes around, that can help Colleton County's case, especially for the new head coach, whoever that may be. And I think,
I think people are anticipating they'll fall to 3A, and
I think that's right. I think it's the right thing. But I also think I think what Adam Kinlock did in turning the culture around that was struggling as a football program, I think what he has done, despite the record, don't look at the record. Look at what he did for the culture. Look at what he did to build a foundation for whoever the next coach is, because the next coach is going to come in.
Well, I'll tell you,
ready to build on top of that foundation.
Nobody was going on Facebook clamoring for the last guy when he left. They weren't saying this guy did a great job. I'll tell you that. But they're saying that this time. So Kinlock did a lot right. He did a lot right. Now there's naysayers too. There's people on there too who had bad experiences or think negatively of them. There always are. There's some in the crowd. But by and large, it's a lot of people saying, and honestly, I saw people from Hampton saying, bring him to Hampton. We need him. We need a guy like that in our program, as an assistant. So that says a lot, because Hampton was trolling him after they beat him, like the moms were trolling him, but it was all in fun because they know each other, but
it's a rivalry.
He's going to be fine.
It's a rivalry.
He's got he adds a lot to your building.
Yeah,
he adds a lot to your culture outside of football, even. And I think that's what Colleton will miss about him for sure. And we'll see where he lands. But he was on our sideline our first playoff game the other night. Because he and Biff go way back. So the Ville could be a landing spot too. We'll see.
That's
see what goes down. But AK is gonna
him Coach Gardner.
Yeah, he's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Somebody is definitely
he'll find a job.
Someone's gonna pick that man up just based off of what he can do and what he can bring in terms of culture-wise to any school. Whether he's a head coach
wanted it to work, man.
I did too. I mean,
what a great story.
I got to meet him for the. I was at the Colleton County, Hampton County game that started off the year at Colleton County. I talked with Coach Kinlock after, and that was the first time I had talked with him, and gotten to really have a good conversation with him after the game, despite the loss. I realized what he's doing and what he did for the program. I realized that by just the one conversation I had with him, and I realized what kind of a person he is. And, someone's going to pick him up, and he's going to, whoever picks him up, they're going to be the better for it because of what
he's young dude. He's still a young dude. He's got a great future.
Absolutely.
All right. But, had to talk about that. Always tough.
Absolutely.
We never want these guys to lose their jobs. We develop great friendships and relationships with them, and root well for them. But best of luck to Kinloch, and best of luck to Colleton, and trying to find the right fit there, because there's guys out there that if they wanted to take on a new challenge, I saw somebody online today say not even Nick Saban could have them winning in 3 years, and they might be right. But somebody's going to want to find out if they can do it, take on the impossible challenge. Maybe some retiree from somewhere or something.
And here's the thing: you could bring a coach on that could attract players from other schools in terms of the transfer portal. That could.
Well, you're right, because see, and that was a big part of what happened to them this year. I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but Koger, who was going to be their best running back, he split for Somerville right before school started. He was a backup, and their big defensive end that was a monster last year, he split for Somerville, and he didn't even end up playing. I think he wasn't eligible for some reason or another. So you're right, and the grass is greener thing is gonna backfire at some point, and we are going to see kids who don't see themselves in the mix at these bigger schools going down to smaller schools.
We already have.
Play. Yeah, we're going to see more of that. And you're right. I mean, Somerville's a hop, skip, and a jump from Walterboro, and a lot of the teachers already live in Somerville. And if they let people come across county lines, then it could open up a pipeline if you get the kind of coach
and it's not even. I mean,
that people want to go play for.
I think it's not even just. And the funny thing is, it's not even just Somerville. I mean, like, you look at all the Charleston schools; they're not that far from Walterboro, Right. So I think, like, whoever you bring in, I think the hope is to also, like, of course, build the program up. But I think you can also bring in players with. If you're a well-known coach who makes a move over to Walterboro to be the next head coach of Colleton County, there's a chance that you could bring in some players through the transfer portal and really turn this program around.
I mean, Bill Belichick's bound to be free next year, right? Oh, Lord. But anyway, we had some signings go off.
I needed that good belly laugh.
Week. We had some signings go off this week. I saw where a couple of people signed. Allie Dennison of Beaufort High volleyball fame, in keeping with the family tradition, is leveraging her athletics ability into a quality education. She'll be joining a couple of Loco superstars at Florida Tech, where Brooks Van Esselstyn is playing lacrosse. More on him later. And also Ty Harpring is playing basketball. So
I forgot.
Florida Tech becoming a hotbed for our high achieving student.
Hey, I mean, you get that connection with a couple of guys who were very notorious around here and had some great careers, and you start that pipeline, and we've seen it at Erskine before. We've seen it at some other schools around the area. So it's happened before.
Yeah, brother Michael, of course, played football at MIT. So they're leveraging excellent educational opportunities from their athletics. I also saw a couple of signings from HHCA. I saw Slade Bird made it official with Georgia Southern. Caitlin Jackson signed for beach volleyball at Mercer. Not sure if there were any others in there, but if anybody knows about other signings, let us know.
Well,
I saw those.
I was going to say, speaking of Erskine, I believe I saw Tony O'Banner has gotten an offer to play football at Erskine.
He's not going to level.
Well, I'm just saying he had posted it on his social media account. I thought y'all would like to know.
I'm pretty sure he's going to SEMO, but
I would love for him to go to SEMO. That would be great.
I would love for him to go see that. From everything.
I know he likes it. I know he likes.
Sage Bradshaw. Sage Bradshaw signed at Wake, which
Wake Forest. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. he's a senior now, and
that's
wild.
unreal.
I feel like he's been there for a while, and he's just gotten better and better. So tremendous golfer, and
Kevin
I think
Libby's
he's
fueling the
some big
transfer
things in the
portal.
ACC. To do like that. Great kid, by the way. Too. Fantastic. All around person. But speaking of, you mentioned you mentioned Dennison. Not only did she just recently sign, she was also named to the volleyball All-State team alongside a couple of other Loco studs. Gracie Pufall from Hilton Head, Michaela Wilson from Battery Creek, Marta Viranelli, Viraneri from Bridges Prep. Sorry if I did not say that name correctly. Lamori Pryor from Whale Branch, and Sally Saxton from your AJ Hardyville Hurricanes.
Sally, Mustang Sally. That's awesome. I'm really happy for Sally. First in Hurricanes history, All-State volleyball.
Oh, wow.
We had a tremendous season. Unfortunately, fell flat in that first round of the playoffs. Just didn't play our best game. But man, it was an awesome regular season, and really proud of the girls. And we got a lot coming back. So Sally,
just to see all the names that got the honor here from the Loco. Tremendous depth, I think, especially at Region 6 4A is competitive, but Bridges Prep gets you to be a strong force in 2A. And I thought Whale Branch and Hardyville both had tremendous seasons as well. And also Michaela Wilson, she's a basketball player as well, correct?
Yep.
That sounds
maybe not.
Sounds...
Maybe I'm confusing with someone else, but
I think you're right, Wes.
Yeah, I think you're
right. I think you're definitely correct on that.
All right. Yeah. And the other thing I had is I'm surprised no May River representatives, and especially for how that team played. They certainly have some players that could have made their case for All-State and 4A, but certainly the talent is sky high in that classification. But still surprising to not see a May River Shark on that list.
Yeah, you're right.
Very surprising.
I thought one of the Ricks would have made it for sure, but maybe they split the vote. I don't know.
Yeah, it's possible. I'm not sure what
Definitely
the committee is that determines who makes the cut and who doesn't, but a lot of deserving candidates, I suppose, and bid for Gracie out of Hilton Head. I mean, not a great team performance this year, but she was definitely an important part of that team, and always great to see those individual accolades, even though it wasn't a collective strong season for the Seahawks in terms of the volleyball courts. We've seen a lot of tremendous players. Of course, Addie O'Grady. I mean, she was obviously state champion, but she was such an important piece. But Libero Pufall was tremendous this year for Hilton Head, and great to see her get some recognition.
Yep. We've also got cross country championships tomorrow in Aiken. I think they're all tomorrow, aren't they? Or are they?
I think there might
Friday
be some
and Saturday. I think they're split over Friday and Saturday.
Yeah, I believe. So.
I know that 2A is Friday.
Here. Cross country. Pulling it up right now with this high school league website. Sometimes can be a little bit slow,
a little finicky.
But yeah, it will be at the. It's in Aiken. When I was in high school, it was at the Sandhills. I don't know when they got because that was a great venue.
Yeah, they had it there for years. We did the state qualifier was at Newberry at the farm this past week, and then the state championships are at the Steeplechase in Aiken. Should be cool.
So Friday will be 1A, 4A, and 2A. So the majority of our athletes are competing on Friday. The vast majority. 3A is Saturday, and then they'll have the 5A championships. So most of our squads competing tomorrow at the in Aiken at the
Bluffton girls should have a good shot. They should be right
boys
there.
And girls defending their championships. So
the girls should be right in the mix again. I think the Bridges girls were awfully good too. They placed second in their race, so they're like a top 4 type team. So they should be right in the mix.
Right.
Looking forward to that. We'll see how they all do. Got some individuals that should show well as well. What's his name? Talon Farrington from May River, who's been burning it up. I saw his sister runs for USCB, so I think they moved down, followed her down type deal, which is pretty cool. Also saw the scmat.com release their preseason rankings. May River, of course, picked to repeat as the champ in 4A. Beaufort, the next highest ranked team in 4A at number 13 out of our coverage area. Bridges Prep got hosed. They were 17th after making the lower state finals last year, but they did lose a lot. But they're a program. They're going to be fine. And then Battery Creek, I'm excited about Battery Creek. They're ranked 8th in Class 3A. They have 8 state qualifiers back, and a bunch of them are young. And even though Rutherford left, which is a bummer, he moved upstate. Rob Michelis is taking over, and he was the coach at Robert Smalls for a couple of years, and really developed a lot of these young guys that are coming up for him now. So super excited about that for Battery Creek. I think they're going to have a great year. And JP2 ranked 4th in Skeeza with 4 state qualifiers returning, including state champs Brian Orta and Jack Hannigan. So lots of good wrestling teams in the Lowco this year that should be competitive. All right, what else we got here?
It's great stuff.
All right, now the other thing, we're going to do football previews next, and then we're going to talk USCB basketball. For the football previews and the basketball, we have a celebrity guest picker / previewer with Kevin Libby in the studio.
And where did Max? I think Max probably his phone died or something. He's
guessing
gone.
He got home, and he'll be rejoining.
Oh, that could be.
Soon. That's usually what happens when he
Libs.
comes out without warning.
Libs, talking to you twice in one day. How about it?
Feels good. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you
loud and clear, man.
Loud and clear. So we're gonna do football previews before we do USCB basketball preview, because it is the playoffs and it is Thursday night. So we do the football previews.
Got my handy dandy writing utensil to jot down picks.
Only
Not
got
that I'm really
6.
keeping track.
Only 6 left on the slate. We will start. You know what? We're starting at the top tonight. We're starting with your Hilton Head Seahawks.
Yeah, let's do high school league first, because the Skeeza games, they're in the semifinals. Those are the big ones this week. So
yeah,
they're all big ones, but the Skeeza games have higher importance since they're close to the end.
Right. Well,
so let's start with the Seahawks
at
home against Wilson. Last meeting, I was there. Hilton Head smothered them 43-0 2 years ago.
But last
Wilson just didn't get off the bus.
The last playoff meeting was back in 2019.
That's
correct. Right. And Wilson took that one 47-34 in the first round. So for the second straight week, you've got a little bit of a bad playoff history with the team, but it didn't matter at all last week against South Aiken. This should be a tough test. So we saw Wilson go toe-to-toe with May River all night and then pull out a tough win last week. May River, of course, played Hilton Head tough. Hilton Head won it fairly comfortably, but it was a battle. So I expect this to be a really good matchup, but I have a lot of faith in this Hilton Head team.
If I can interject, please, since I'm not picking the game.
Oh, you're calling the game.
I'm calling it.
Right. My bad.
If I can have, a couple of moments for my keys first, because I knew you were about ready to pick it there, JJ. I tell you what, I've been able to take a look at more of the numbers and whatnot throughout this matchup a lot today in the last few hours, and these are two, I think, pretty evenly matched teams. We obviously know what Hilton Head can do, and if you recall back to last week, I said if I was to pick an upset, it might be Wilson over May River, and I didn't pick that. But this Wilson team is very good. They've got a really good quarterback, got a couple of guys. Yes, indeed. Got a couple of guys on the outside that can make some plays. Defensively, can they, continue to just get after it? And can they really do a good job of trying to contain? That's the funky bunch in the background. Can they contain what Hilton Head can do? And I talked to BJ Payne earlier today, and he said, we're going to, and I knew he was going to say this, but he said, we're going to keep doing what we've been doing. There's no reason to do anything different. So we know what Hilton Head's all about. And if Wilson comes out and puts a hat on a hat and really gets after it, they have a chance to compete in this game. I think special teams is going to be a big key for sure. And Jalen Whitlow is one heck of a coach on the offensive side of the ball for Hilton Head. We talk about what BJ Payne does as the head coach and the DC. Coach Whitlow is terrific with those players on offense, and the special teams could be a big key in Hilton Head's favor. I'm excited to have my first official play-by-play call for Beaufort's own. Max is going to join me. He'll be on color. Javon will probably have some color commentary to add as well because we've got 4 headsets. But Javon's going to do what he can to keep us on the air. We almost went off the air a couple of times last week. So that's the way it shapes up for Friday, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun and always a great environment being there at the Nest. And BJ Payne, Sarah Beachkovsky Moore, and Coach Whitlow, they do a tremendous job of making sure that team is ready day in, day out, practice in, practice out, and certainly game in and game out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and hopefully the Nest is filled up with a great crowd. That's what I'm expecting come tomorrow night.
All right. So who wants to kick off our picks then? Celebrity guest picker, Kevin Libby?
Seahawks, Wes.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
I like
it. I as Hilton Head Seahawks fan, I always nervous about these games. At this point, I think Wilson's a great team. I thought they showed a lot in that win over May River. I don't think I picked. I think I picked the Sharks. I did, and I expected a little bit more from May River in this game. But that being said, I was pretty impressed with what Wilson was able to do on the offensive side, putting up 36 in that game, and they've got some offensive playmakers. The running game back going too with the freshman, the Zaire Lyde. He was really consistent on the ground, but a couple of guys who I really are scared about is Devon Bowman and McQuan McWhite. McWhite's the guy who has had the tremendous season.
Yes,
he's
been a baller
on the year, but well, there were points in that game against South Aiken where they give up some big plays, and that's the worry, is that this defense can they continue to find that success in terms of the secondary, because they have some guys who I thought majority of the time played a very good game, and I'm really starting to trust what BJ Payne was able to do defensively. They know how to put some pressure, but then the pass defense has really done their part for the most part, aside from a few hiccups. But I like the way they're able to crunch in on big time moments in these games and deliver those stops. And I just am really impressed by the way this defense was able to bend but not break in a couple situations. And this is going to be tough. Wilson's coming in playing some great all around football. Tristan Howard's been, 63%
quarterback.
Yeah, he's been a terrific quarterback for them. So I think it's going to be up for Hilton Head's defense. I really trust this offense is going to make things happen. May River was able to find success against Wilson, and Hilton Head's even a much better offense. So I feel good about Raniszewski and company. The offense has been excellent. I expect another good game from number 2 under center. And then you look at how well the offense has opened up. We all talk about Zarnecki, but now that we're seeing guys like Caden Stewart making plays, I have full faith this offense is gonna look the part. Can this defense find a way to continue to make some big stops against a Wilson team that knows they know how to make big plays of their own, and we've seen some firepower from them. So I look for Josh Bigger, who has been such an important part. He's
been bigger than life.
I'd love to see. You're not picking this, Marcus. Let me make the pick. I haven't made the pick yet. Will Jimenez, and then you talk about some guys who are two-way players, or Necky, Javen Risher.
Right.
they have the dudes that can take over a game, and we've seen that. If this defense plays up to their capabilities, I just think Hilton's going to make that one big play defensively, where it's a turnover, forced turnover, or a big stop on like a 4th and short. And, this defense is relentless. They're going to find ways to make big stops. I love the depth they have, but also, you talk about those top players who should be healthy and ready to go. I think they're going to game plan well and find a way to slow down or at least contain those top receiving threats. If you do that, they've got some guys in the run game, but I just like the way Hilton has been able to perform against the run recently. And I think this defense is going to really pressure you. They're going to pressure Wilson to find a way to make some mistakes. And if you can find a way to force a couple of them, or at least one important one early, I really like Hilton Head's chances. So, I'm trusting BJ Payne, trusting what he has done so far for this team. It's always scary, especially if Wilson's able to make some big blows of their own on offense, and Hilton Head having to play from behind, because Hilton Head plays well for the lead, but if you fall behind, Hilton Head has not trailed much at all this year. So how obviously the James Allen game, but how will they respond if they go behind in a ball game like this? We haven't seen it much. So I trust that Payne's going to get his team ready, in terms of the preparation on the defensive side of the ball. And they have guys who make some plays, and this is the time you need to step up even more. So I like Hilton Head in, I'll see a 2-score win. I don't think the Seahawks will run away with it. I think it'll be close, but then again, this Hilton Head team has really shown they know how to rise to a higher level in big time games like this. And I think the Seahawks are the better team, but Wilson, we've seen them sneak up on May River. They certainly could do that towards Hilton Head, but I do like the Seahawks to advance to round 3, and this would be quite an accomplishment at this point if they're able to get another one in the win column. This would be 11 wins for the Seahawks, which I believe would be their highest total since the 90s, I believe. If I look correctly, it has been a while since the Seahawks have. Yes. There we go.
This has been the Filibuster.
All right. I will stop talking.
Wes is on the Seahawks. No, I'm
the Seahawks alum, and
yeah, man, you broke it down. That's why Kevin Libby ceded his time to you. He ceded his time.
How often? This is a historic season. It already is for Hilton Head, but this would take it to another tier in terms of hosting the 3rd round playoff game, because I don't remember the last time that happened. We haven't touched that point.
God, we'd be talking 40+ years ago.
Wes is going to fill a Maxter, or Max is going to fill a Maxter on Hilton Head Christian too. So it's all good. Don't trip. All right. So we're all on the Seahawks thus far. Those of us who are picking. I guess I haven't officially made a pick yet. Max, what do you got? Anything to add?
Yeah, I think Wilson scares me a little bit. I think they look a lot like Hilton Head in many ways. They got a good running game. They also have a great passing game, very balanced. I think defensive-wise, I think, the thing I would say with May River is they weren't fully there, in terms of health. They were missing key players. I think that's just the biggest reason. But I would say hats off to May River, because they fought hard in that game. They had a chance at the end to tie it too and send it to overtime with a chance to win it. But in those ways, I think with a May River team that has been a bit snake bitten in terms of injuries this year, for them to have as close a game as they did with Wilson, I'm not entirely worried with this game between the Seahawks and Wilson. I think Hilton Head's going to get the job done, because I just something about this team is just, we've said it before. I think this is the best all-around team we have in this area. Period. I just think defense. Yeah, the secondary would be my biggest concern, but they've played solid secondary-wise this year. So
it's just they haven't matched up against an elite wide receiver in terms of who they play. Carnell Warren. Okay, maybe I'm disrespecting it to Carnell Warren.
And Amari Patterson.
They let him down too.
Yeah, I mean, they did a good job against those two. I mean, this secondary I think is legit, but I just worry about those explosive plays because they did give one up. I guess
I'm only worried about kicking game, and Wilson only has one kick return for a touchdown this year, no punt returns. So I'm not as worried.
Special teams definitely.
No, but I'm talking about kick coverage. They've given up a bunch of kick return touchdowns, like 3 or 4.
I remember clearly Hardyville had a couple of those in their game.
Hardyville had one
on WHHI, and you can go back and watch it and see. But I apart from all of that, I don't think there's a way Wilson, overruns or outscores Hilton Head. I just think Hilton Head's too dangerous. Yeah. And I think they win. I think they win by 2 scores or more.
Yeah. I'll say like 42-28. I like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah, so if Hilton Head wins this game, they would match their best win mark at 11 wins. The best mark since 1990 under Dan Utley.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Dan Utley, legend. Legend.
He is a legend.
That name was being uttered with a certain je ne sais quoi when I got here in the mid-2000s. He was a legend, and everybody was measuring Tim Singleton against him. Never want to be the guy after the guy, right? But Tim had a good run.
I'll tell you what, Joe Davis is doing a pretty good job following up Vince Scully, announcing for the Dodgers. That's a random comparison, but I just thought of it, and there hasn't been a bigger legend in terms of.
Speaking of Tim Singleton, can I get Marcus Wallace to talk about Ruby Lee's?
Let's don't.
Sports blues and soul food.
It's 10:22, and we got hours of show left, and they're not a sponsor. So what are you doing?
Hours.
Plus, I'm gonna have to go get my laptop charger here in a minute. But I am going with the Seahawks. As I said, but my one biggest fear about Hilton Head is that kick coverage. They've given up a bunch, and I'm just worried that's going to bite them at some point. But I don't think it's this week. And hopefully they get it figured out before that happens. But it has been a thing. It's like a one weakness, one flaw in the armor. So we're all on the Seahawks except Marcus, who's not picking it because he's calling it. And now on to the arguably the second most complete.
Now that I think about it, I shouldn't have picked either, being that I am on the call with Marcus as well.
I don't
know that you officially did pick, but you maybe kind of did.
I think you said 2-score game.
Oh yeah, you did.
My bad, everyone. My bad.
Wicked Homa. What a Homa.
Sorry.
It's
sorry,
fine.
Marcus.
That's what you anticipate. It doesn't mean anything. Whatever.
You're not doing the play-by-play. I mean, it's Javon.
The world will keep spinning. All right. 2A.
As the world turns.
1B, 2 Hilton Heads, 1A, if you will, in the Loco. Hampton County at home again against Sherrod, and they're hoping against hope that Timberland takes out Manning so they get to stay home. Well, maybe not all of them. Some of them want to play Manning real bad, so we'll see. But I think they'd rather play at home and let one time lead the Hurricane walk one more time. They got a home game against Sherrod. I haven't been that impressed by what I've seen stat wise from Sherrod, but I know what kind of boys they raise in Sherrod, and they are tough and they are physical. And they got a history up there. I think this is going to be a battle. I do believe that Jalen Singletary will be the best player on the field, as he has been just about every week.
Player in the field will find a way to make his presence known most of the time.
I think so. I think this Hampton team is really in a good place right now. They seem to be healthy. They got a lot of weapons. They got some different formations they can show on offense. They can beat you multiple ways, and then defensively they have really rounded into form. They had a little bit of trouble early with Lake City. Gave up some points early on last week, so that worried me a little bit. But I think if they get off to a good start, flat starts have kind of been a thing for them too. That Bluffton game, they were kind of flat in the first half. The Hilton Head game, they were great in the first half though, right? And then lost it after the
but that was a weird rain weather delay.
Yeah, really weird situation. Rob Lightfoot noting that Nick Gordon is a beast for sure.
He is. I saw some film. That dude's a monster. That might be a problem for Hampton County.
This Sherrod team, they have had some tough stretches, but they've won 4 in a row in pretty dominant fashion. Andrews is not a bad team, and they were able to limit them to 7 points. So good showing by their defense. They did give 21 to Buford. I don't know, say it the same way
Buford.
as Buford. But Buford's 1-7, and they gave up. So then again, I feel good about Hampton County in this game, but Chirac is one of those teams that can hang around. They're hard-nosed, aggressive style team that has had a good track record of success over the years. It seems like they're always close to, if not in the top 10 in 2A. But they've got some dudes that can hurt you on the offensive side. You mentioned Gordon. He has been the explosive receiver. Leads the team with 6 touchdown catches and also with over 600 receiving yards. But he's the guy that I'm sure Hampton County will try to find a way to limit. They've got some successful players on the ground as well. Excuse me.
They really struggled on offense last week. Their defense is really tough. So
their defense is tough, but I expect Jalen Singletary. You only really need a couple of big runs to really put yourself in high gear, and I suspect the passing game, although it's been the Singletary show. I mean, I'd love to see just some more creativity for Hampton's offense, because Sherrod, they've got some dudes who, if they get the opportunity, they'll make some plays on the defensive side of the ball. And other than that one game against Buford, maybe those scores were late. I don't know the whole story, but they had a couple of tough games on defense midway through. River Bluffs, that's a very good team. You can't really say too much about that one, but I mean they almost beat Marlboro County. They lost by 7 early in the year. So this team will scrap and claw. They play some aggressive defense. I think Hampton County playing at home with the way that offense, the potential that we have seen from that group. I haven't really seen Hampton that much other than that Hilton Head game, and I can't really take too much stock in them. I'll say that I'm impressed by how they competed in the first half, and by the way they've blown through this region. Excuse me again, and with the consistency that we have seen from that offense, and I just think that Hampton is going to use that to advantage of playing at home. And don't forget about Desmond Mathis. He's been able to make some plays. Can they get him the football?
And Carrington Sab as well. Yeah, he is.
Sab is how you pronounce it. So they got some dudes. It's not just Singletary, but you expect Singletary to be that focal point in the offense and make them try to beat you and use that best player to your advantage. Get him in space and give him ample opportunities. Give him the ball as much as possible early, and I have confidence that Terrell Grant's going to find a way to step up and make some big throws in a game like this, and just do a good job managing the game. And when he gets the opportunity, look to hit his guys. So I think this offense, I'm high on what this offense could do in a game like this, even with Sherrod bringing a solid defense that can travel alongside it. I have faith in good hopes in the offensive line and an explosive offense that starts with one of the better running backs in classification in 2A, and I think he's going to find some opportunities to cook early. And if Hampton puts up a couple of quick scores, I think that they will be well on their way and in control of this game. And Hampton's defense, they had some hiccups midway through, but once again, some solid teams that they played throughout there. And they didn't start off too well against Lake City. I hope they get off on the right footing and play up to the level that we have seen in other parts of this year. But Hampton plays up to their game, and if they play a mistake-free offensive game, I like their chances of just overwhelming Chirac with that explosiveness of Singletary and some others, and can they find a way to bend but not break and get some big stops defensively? I think Rob and his team they're hungry, they're motivated after what happened last year, and having that luxury of playing at home. I think they take advantage of it and find a way to move on and advance to next week. So I got the Canes over the Sherrall
Braves.
Yes.
Hampton by 10. That's right.
I want to bring this back up. This one by Rob here.
Yeah,
I agree with him completely. I've been watching film on Sherrod just because I know that they are a strong team with a great coaching staff.
Rob, by the way, is Lowco royalty by association, brother to Jared Hatcher, who played.
You look at Sherrod's schedule, and Wes had mentioned a bit of this, but the one game that really stands out to me for Sherrod is their loss to Central. And now Central is a very strong team, a one-loss team, and Sherrod only lost to them by a touchdown. So if I'm Hampton County, clearly this is a strong team despite their record. But they also play in a region with Central and Andrew Jackson, who's been fantastic.
And North Central. That was a tough.
Yep.
Those are some tough schools. And it worries me a little bit for Hampton County just because I think this is a Sherrod team, despite their record, you cannot take lightly. And I agree with Rob here. I think this team for Sherrod is very strong on both sides of the ball. I think Hampton needs to be on their best foot. They got to be in the best mindset they can possibly be in, because this is if I'm being honest, for Hampton County, this is a trap game.
100%.
In more ways than one. And I'm worried, but I think, for me, I think if Jalen Singletary can get going, which I think he can, I think if he gets going, it opens up the rest of the offense. And I think if that all turns out to be, I think this is a close game, but I do like Hampton County in this one by probably one score. I think this is too close for Hampton County, to mess around with. And, again, that's a really strong Sherrod team.
And I guess, as you said, the one thing is maybe they're looking ahead to Manning, or obviously they've played Timberland. That's not a gimme game,
right?
Sometimes you're looking ahead to you see
that.
Yeah,
they saw that one. They saw that one when they looked at the bracket.
You can't look ahead. Sherrod's a good team, and you have to be prepared on the other side of the football.
It's actually funny because I had to do a deeper dive. Central's one loss was actually to Andrew Jackson, believe it or not.
They all beat each other.
That's right.
Yeah, they all beat up on each other.
Rankings because Andrew Jackson was not ranked, and then they
moved up.
It just shows how what the parity of 2A. It's like it's up for the taking. Yeah. I could see honestly, either Hampton County. I could see Maine. I could see Timberland, Central, Simmons. I could see like 6 of these teams making it to the state championship.
Yeah. That's wide open.
Andrew Jackson, man. Andrew Jackson had dysentery at the Battle of New Orleans.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yeah, but he's getting healthy at the right time.
Jackson
peaking at the right time.
But I agree with Rob.
That's a good one between them and Fairfield.
I agree with Rob here, because clearly injuries were a problem early in the season. They're healthy now, and with them being healthy, you can't with this coaching staff that Sherrod has. You can't.
Sherrod the top 10 team for a bit this year, but they fell off after a couple of.
I said Hampton by one score.
All right, Kevin Libby.
What up? My pick, I'm going to be the hanging Chad on this one. I want to share very quickly. I'm watching Thursday Night Football. It's the fourth quarter. It's now a 2-possession game, which is good. I'll be less emotional. But that's what's happening when my face changes Thursday Night Football.
Are you a Boston sports fan?
Your Pates.
Stop it.
Pates are up 10. Yeah, he's
you're a Boston fan, aren't you?
Wesley Kerr, stop trolling me. I love you very much.
You serious? Of course he is.
He is.
That kid runs on Duncan.
Right now, the NFL.
I bought a 30-day free trial of Prime just for these Pats. I'm trying not to be emotional on air. Gentlemen,
my question
I have a pick.
Is Drake
we call him the Pates now.
Sorry, Wes, repeat that, please. I didn't love it enough.
Yeah, I will say it again. Is Drake May, is he going to be the MVP of the National Football League?
Maybe.
No.
Because I think he's got a decent case right now through.
But no.
Season ain't over.
No, I said it's week 11. The season is far from over. But right now he's in the conversation.
I don't think he's going to be. Though.
Can we have a pick, Kevin?
We're going. Yeah. Max is correct, Wes. We're going too niche. Thank you for being a Boston sports fan. Here's the pick. Que sera, sera. Whatever will be. Hurricanes.
The future is ours to see. Doris Day.
My God, Marcus Walsh. Do you know what culture?
Whatever will be.
My guys.
One time, Canes. I got the Canes, but I think it's a battle. I think they're going to have to battle this one out to the finish.
I'm worried about this one.
I'm
really worried about this one.
Game, and I think it's going to be battles all the way through in 2A. I
just honestly,
there's about 12 teams that are in the same.
I mean,
look.
I looked through all 6 games this week. There isn't one slam dunk. I mean, there is
no.
That is why I'm
scared. We have talked about this before. We have talked about this before. This lower state in 2A is wide open, wide freaking open.
Yep. Rob Lightfoot predicts that Fairfield Central will knock AJ out tomorrow night.
I agree.
All right.
I agree with that.
Well, on the Canes, but we all expect a battle, and on to the Skeezers. We're into the Skeezers semifinals already, boys. One weekend, we're in the semis. HHCA still in the fight in 3A. They'll go to Wilson Hall. Wilson Hall is a really good team. They're 10-1. I've been trying to talk myself into it all week, but I haven't been able to. So I throw it to Max Araj, our HHCA expert, presented by Mickelson Law Firm, to tell us what he thinks about this game.
I've been thinking about this game all week too. If I'm being honest,
I know you have. That's why I threw it to you.
I think Hilton Head Christian has a chance. They have a really good chance. I think problem A is it's on the road. Wilson Hall is not an easy place to play at. It is very difficult to play at that field, and Hilton Head Christian found that out last season when they were on the road in the playoffs. By the way, semifinals of the playoffs last year.
At Wilson Hall.
At Wilson Hall.
Yes.
They know what this is. Most of these players know what this was last year. That is not an easy place to play. That's the first thing. The second thing is this Wilson Hall team is stacked. They are a really strong team. You know, you talk about a one-loss record. Beating out Pinewood Prep this year, which I think at one point in the season we did not think anyone was going to be able to take down Pinewood Prep at all. And this Wilson Hall team did. That's the second problem I have. I think Wilson Hall is big. They're physical. Yeah. They're really strong. I just if Hilton Head Christian gets, they have a chance. But my thing is, they have to have zero mistakes if they want to have a shot in this game. You make one mistake
against a good team.
Hey, remember what happened in 2023? You know, they lost to them the first time, and then they came back and beat them in the state championship game. So.
But here's the thing: they haven't played them this season. This is the first time these two teams are facing this year.
Right, that is
and
true.
That causes an issue for Hilton Head Christian. And I don't. I'm gonna go with Wilson Hall. I can't.
You can't do it, folks.
I can't. I mean, look, I pray to God and I hope that they prove me wrong. But on the road at Wilson Hall in the semifinals, we saw what happened last year. I just don't see it, changing at all this year in the semifinals. I think Wilson Hall.
But here's the thing about Hilton Head Christian. I mean, I think they are better at this point in terms of a complete team than they were. They're trending more upwards this year than they were last year. That's just my opinion. I mean, I
agree with you, Wes. I like the way the defense has been playing.
I think the run game is really gone. I just think they have a lot more. Now, will it be enough to beat Wilson Hall? That is the question, because the Barons, have been once again a tremendous force this year, and I'm very high on the way this team has been playing. 10-1, only loss came to Lawrence Main Academy in a 1-point game back in September. But they dominated First Baptist as you expected, and but I mean they only beat Trinity Collegiate 35-18. Hilton Christian Academy was able to take care of them as well. They did beat Pinewood Prep though, 28-21. So that was an impressive win.
Yeah, that was really impressive.
Yeah.
Here's the one thing I was gonna say, Wes, is the one thing I think Wilson Hall may struggle with is the fact that Hilton Head Christian Academy has a running game.
Yep.
That's the only reason I would think, Wilson Hall may struggle a little bit against Hilton Head Christian. But other than that, I don't know. I really don't know.
Defense play like those junkyard dogs in the past that we have seen.
They're gonna have to.
Channeling the power of guys like Jackson Lanier and others who really made their contributions throughout the years. And I kind of feel like the defense has been better. I mean, it's we've seen improvements. Finn Ussery, really fun guy to watch. Langhouse plays both ways. Hayden Burton's had a big year just as a sophomore. So, I mean, this defense is going to have to really step it up because this Wilson Hall team, they know how to deliver in big moments on offense. And, it's just a tough place to play on the road. I think Hilton Christian Academy, they're trending upwards. I mean, this is the best they have looked all year, these last couple of games. But is it enough to knock off Wilson Hall on the road? I mean, I expect the Eagles to put together a good effort, but I'm still not entirely convinced that they're going to do enough to win this game. And I'm high on the Southern Christian Academy team. I think Peduzzi, it is hard to bet against them. But at this point, I just think what the Barons have done this year, they've beaten the pedigree of what they've done this season. They beat Pinewood Prep. They'd love to find a way to see him again. But Hilton Head Christian Academy, once again, you can never count out the will of that team. The run game's gotten better. I think Langhouse is starting to find it. But I'm just not sure they're going to be able to stop the Barons enough in terms of that run game. So it's going to take quite the effort to hold down McLaurin and Galloway, who have been just tremendous this year. For the Barons, I think that they're going to find a way to outdo them on their home field. Will be a good effort. I expect a good performance from HHCA, but I think I'm going to go with Wilson Hall in a tighter than expected contest tomorrow night.
Kevin, go ahead. I think I know where I'm leaning, but I get
Kevin Levy.
Wes, do you think they're going to hold on for one more day?
I get what you're saying there. Great song, by the way. Yeah.
Wilson Phillips, kids.
Things go your way.
My voice is cooked, so I didn't try to sing. But
Wilson Phillips gets a bad rap.
Well, if they do hold on for one more day, they will not head to Charleston Southern. They will head to South Carolina State, which is where.
Oh, it's at SC State?
Yes, they just made that announcement.
Oh.
Here's my thing. Now that we've discussed,
that's where my first SCISA championship I covered was at SC State.
Right.
It was Hilton Head Prep over Colleton Prep. Chucky Scarmanach.
Here's the thing, and this is what I hate about SCISA so much. They wait till the last minute to say anything because this is Charleston Southern has had a home game scheduled for nearly 6 months now for this date, and they haven't said anything about it.
That is surprising that it took
didn't
this
do
long
anything until the
to
last.
say, hey, we're not
less than 2 weeks away from a state championship.
1 week away. Yeah, almost 1 week away.
Yeah, less than 2 weeks from a state championship game, and you decide to finally tell everyone, "Oh, hey, sorry, we forgot to say something about the fact that we aren't going to be playing at Charleston Southern."
Do you realize that's this?
Why? But what is
Deli?
Who
right.
won?
I put that on the group chat like a day ago, JJ.
I missed that. My bad.
Yeah, it's in the group chat.
Well,
and I did say no, not no.
My Sports U doesn't always load during school, so sometimes I get a deluge after school, and then I got to.
Yeah, I'm upset because I love the vibes at Charleston. It's a great place to host a state championship game. So they've I think it's just the first time since 2019 where they haven't had it there. They had it Benedict in 19, but I think every year after that it's been at Charleston Southern.
No, it was later than 19 because in 20 they were at
They were at Charles Southern.
They were at Benedict College in 2020.
No, they were not. They were at.
2019. No. It was 2019. You're right. Because they were at Benedict College.
Yep, I remember it was the COVID year.
Northwest and West.
Weird.
West has the elephant brain, bro.
I remember because my brother's team.
I was there. I remember.
I was there.
I was there.
I was there.
You should know.
2019. I remember now because
I was there too, but I don't remember what years anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Ever since COVID, I lost all concept of when things happened. It's crazy.
We're all
gone.
Yeah, but no, it's like I said, it's a good venue for Skeeza State Championship. So it's a shame that it won't be there this year. But hey, it's South Carolina High School League. Had some good experiences over there.
Nobody's drinking moonshine over there.
What?
If I can get back to Kevin's pick,
Lemonade?
just to
Tito's.
Just
to verify.
Calm down.
That's just okay.
I'm hydrating.
Did you go with Wilson Hall, or were you just making a Wilson Phillips reference?
Both, Marcus. Give me the same pick as Wes Kerr. Tie me to that guy's brain anytime. He's a lock.
Okay.
A lock.
I'm not right.
He's got the keys, baby.
I'm gonna go with the upset here.
All right.
Ooh. Hey, I'll take it. I'm not mad at that.
I'm gonna go with HHCA. They really impressed me in the Hilton Head Prep game. They have the running game, as Max has said for the last few weeks now. It's official. Baker is a dog. And I've been really impressed with certainly what I've seen out of Kress at quarterback. I actually had a chance to call them, and certainly seeing Baker, I've talked about the Hilton Head Prep game. I called the JP2 game, and the second half of the JP2 game, Kress looked like a completely different guy. And I think he has the ability, certainly with a guy like Joey Hopp, who can run like the wind blows. I mean, he has the ability to make some huge plays. That running game, the defense is not quite like the junkyard dogs of Jackson Lanier and company, but they can make some big plays. And, they've got some talent, certainly on the special team side. I'm going to go with HHCA getting the upset by a field goal by 3 points. The HHCA Eagles move on.
All right.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that at all.
I can't get behind it. Unfortunately, I was going to try.
I couldn't.
I was going to try, but then I remembered that Wilson Hall's rushed for 2,979 yards, averaging 270 per game. And they have a couple of beasts back there. And I just remember all those teams that ran all over HHCA, and I don't think they can outscore them. So I got to go reluctantly with the Barons.
I'll just say this: the last time I voted against Hilton Head Christian, they put on a show against JP2.
Yes,
so that's all I'm gonna say. I'm just saying.
You shall not pass.
All right.
Graybeard has spoken.
Now to 2A. To 2A. Yeah, I am open.
Who would have thought we'd be talking 2A football this week?
2A.
Right?
Who would have thought that Hilton Head Prep would outlive Bluffton? That one blows my mind.
Right.
Did not have that one coming at any point during the season.
May River, for that matter.
Here we are, and the Dolphins get a rematch with PD Academy. It famously did not go well last time, 44-0. I believe the quote from Doug McFadden was, "They're not the same PD, but I guess we're not the same Hilton Head Prep." But they have been a totally different Hilton Head Prep since then. Big turnaround since that game. That leads us to believe that was kind of the turning point, that loss and how they responded to it. So I think we all expect this to be a much more competitive game than the first meeting. But 44 is a lot of points to make up. And I've been to a home game at PD Academy. I don't know. Max has been there.
Rock is especially when they're good.
Like we talk about Patrick Henry games, like PD kind of puts
they may not have
Henry
a Hudson Spivey, but they're still
that's Patrick Henry on steroids. That's what
yeah,
matters.
man. I mean, you got pickups backed up to the fence all the way around. It is intense. And so I as much as I would love for Hilton Head Prep to shock us again, and I hope they do. I hope someone tells us that they won on Friday night. I can't go there. I think PD
I'll
is
tell you what, though.
a really good football team.
I'll tell you what, Calhoun Academy games are crazy as well.
True story. And they brought it to Patrick Henry for baseball too. They're crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, they are nuts.
They did indeed.
But I'll let Wes go.
Now here's the thing about the PD Academy. I think it's, you know, I think they have an outside chance. Now I'll tell you why. They were beaten pretty badly by Bethesda a couple weeks ago. That just shows how good Bethesda is. They blew out 49-0. Put it out there. That's pretty crazy. PD, they beat Lee Academy to be expected. They beat Dillon Christian to be expected. Orangeburg Prep 27-0. But I kind of think that it's not going to be 44-0 again. I expect it to be a lot closer, and I think PD is nowhere as good as they were in the Hudson Spivey days. I mean, they were dominant a few years back and had some good duels with Hilton and Chris coming back in the day too. But this, yep, they did. Heckman's had a great season. Senior running back. He's over under 1,100 yards on the season, 12 touchdowns. He's really been doing a good job.
QB too.
They don't throw up very much.
He leads them in passes, so he must play some QB as well.
Yeah, but they don't throw very much as
no, he's a runner primarily.
Yeah, he's a running quarterback, so they're not going to throw a ton. But I mean, Hilton Head Prep, they were able to do enough to limit what Calhoun did on the ground.
Colleton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, why not?
Colleton's that same kind of guy.
Why Hilton Head Prep not do this again? I mean, I think the possibility is there for this Dolphins team, and you have to be really intrigued by what you saw from Richie and everyone else on that defensive front. And I mean, Brody Hauscher, he continues to get better. I just really love the intensity what Doug McFadden has done with that defense. At this point, there's nothing to lose. You're playing with all the house money. All the pressure in this game is on PD Academy because they have the opportunity to host, even though they weren't the one seed, they have a chance to host a semifinal game. And all the pressure is going to be on them to hold serve at home. Meanwhile, Hilton Head Prep coming off one of the more stunning upset wins we've seen in the season of football, especially this season, maybe in the last few years. I just think there's something special going on with that group, and I love the way that offense has been able to start generating. I mean, you look at Davis Cargill. I mean, Wyatt Harmon has a ton to prove. PD Academy, their defense has been shaky at times. Although they did pitch a shutout against Orangeburg Prep last week, they still give a 28 to Dillon Christian. So, I mean, the offensive opportunities are there for Hilton Head Prep. You can't make any mistakes. You have to shorten the game. Make some extended long drives, and then you have yourself a chance. So I think the opportunity is there for Hilton. I think. On a good performance, on an elite performance, rather, this PD team is beatable. Now, I won't say the same thing. I mean, I don't even think about who they might play next because they have to get to that. You have to get to this. You have to win this one.
Right.
I'm not even thinking about them because you know why? They win. If Hilton Head Prep wins this game, I'll tell you
who
what,
cares?
it's already his in the
story. House money. Yeah.
Season. It already has been, but if they win another game. It's an unbelievable season no matter what happens.
No question.
In the next game. But that being said, PD is beatable. If Hilton Head Prep plays up to the standard that we saw last week, make a couple of big stops early on defense, and you see the effectiveness from the offensive line again, like you saw what they did at Calhoun, and PD makes some mistakes. In a winner go home playoff game, crazy things can happen. I mean, I don't put it out of the question that Hilton Head Prep has an opportunity if they can keep it close toward the second half. I'm feeling good vibes about this group. The upperclassmen are really doing their part to set the tone. And, I feel like we could see something really special happen at PD Academy. This is going to be I hope it is a tight game, and I kind of think Hilton Head Prep is really going to continue a lot that we saw last week. But man, for a PD, I know Hilton Head Prep's gotten a lot better, but I just think PD's had their number, and I still don't think Prep is going to do enough. As much as I'd love to pick them, I think the Golden Eagles are a quality team, and they're going to find a way to pull away at some point. And man, it's you feel, it's the gut pick. And I, you know what, Brett, to Hilton Head Prep if they win this game, but I'm going to go PD Academy because I try to be, as much as I'm a homer so many times. I also have to go with reason, and the Golden Eagles are, a very good team with a strong run game. And I just don't think Hilton Head Prep, even though they were able to pull off an incredible win last week, it's hard to do it 2 weeks in a row on the road.
You made some great points there, certainly, Wes, without question. It is going to be a challenge for sure. I'm going to go with Hilton Head Prep. I'm going to go with another upset. This team is special, and they have been riding a great wave. Like with HHCA, I got to see them twice against HHCA, and then I called the JP2 game, and I thought that the JP2 game was not going to end up the way it was. Certainly, that was a huge step in the right direction for Hilton Head Prep. And then after losing to PD the first time, they've been on a roll, and they are definitely not the same team that they were at the beginning of the year. This team has moxie. This team has grit. This team has heart. They have a bunch of brotherhood. They know what they have to do. And I think with the positive momentum that they have week after week after week after week, they're going to go into PD and they are going to shock the world. I'm going to take Hilton Head Prep by a touchdown.
All right. Old Cotton. Kevin Libby. Max Raj, either of them.
Hello from Title Country. Hello.
What?
Oh, God.
From the shadow of
Cotton.
Pedro's sombrero.
Yeah.
I got a thing with Marcus. I got to do it. Marcus, for you, Donald Faison is an actor. He's known as the guy from Clueless, other than the guy from Scrubs, who's friends with Zach Braff.
Right.
He also
Donald Faison, he played Petey.
Yeah.
What's his line, Marcus?
Football's fun.
Marcus, what's his? Is football fun?
Football fun, sir.
Football
and then
fun.
At the end he says,
"Oh my God,
no, football's not fun. Football no fun, sir."
Sir. So, thanks, Marcus. You played along.
Sorry, I didn't have it off the top of my head.
I'm just trying to make people think I'm going to pick PD so I can say, give me the homer choice. I'm going with Marcus. Let's go. Let's go. It's Friday night. Give me the guys who have the crazy mentality to think the impossible is possible. Let's do it.
All right.
I'm here for it, man. I watched them. Marcus watched them. Marcus called them. It's a mentality that wins. Let's do what people think can't be done. Believe it or not, it can be, and it's fun. Let's go.
There's a lot of pressure on you, Max Raj. You are actually going to determine the official position of this program in a 3-2 vote.
Damn you, Kevin and Marcus. Oh God.
Can Max not be a homer?
You know,
I
you
hope
want
y'all
that.
are not crazy.
The pressure's real.
Max to not be a homer. Good luck.
I think Hilton Head Prep surprised everyone. And I think, with them being able to outscore a Calhoun Academy team with Colleton at quarterback, who's obviously a phenomenal quarterback, one of the top dual threat quarterbacks in Skeeza football, in my opinion. I think they went on the road and shocked the world by beating a one-loss Calhoun Academy team that everyone thought was one of the favorites to make the state championship. That is
PD Academy. I think you said Calhoun.
Yeah, he said last week.
Yeah, last week.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
And I think that was a feat in and of itself, but I think for me, PD Academy I've been to a PD home game. It is no joke. It is absolutely wild. And look, Calhoun Academy is a wild place to play as well, and I've seen what that is. PD's more, and it's a bigger challenge, I think, for Hilton Head Prep, just because the stakes are obviously much higher now. But I also think, PD Academy's home advantage is, I think, unlike anything that we have seen. And PD's had a good season. Yes, they're not the PD we have seen in previous years, but they are strong. However, something about the way Prep played last Friday has stirred me up this entire week. And I don't want to go against them. I'm going to take Hilton Head Prep in this one. I think they have turned a corner.
Let's go.
I know. I probably shouldn't go with it, but something about their win on Friday just gives me a lot more hope than I would have ever imagined I would have given to this Hilton Head Prep team with how they started their season. And I'm looking at it now. I think they have fought hard for the last 4 or 5 weeks from the regular season going into the playoffs. I think that playoff win, they got over the hump. They have been trying to get over for the last, half of the regular season and into the first round of playoffs. They got over that hump. I think they've turned a corner. I think they have the players necessary to get a win on the road at PD Academy. We have seen what this team can do. They have size. They have speed. They have physical strengths. They are physical, just a really physical team.
More so than they've been in a long time.
And you have a fantastic coaching staff. They have all the things necessary to pull off an upset. And I think they can. And I'm going to go with Hilton Head Prep here, but I think it's a 3-point ball game.
All right. Yeah, I think y'all are a little caught up in it, but I hope you're right. Right.
And I think Marcus and Kevin have, I think you two have, turned my mind around, because I was coming into this saying, no way. But I had to look at their game last week, and I saw some of the film that I could pick up from that game. And I just said,
Sorry.
Sorry. No, I watched the film from that game, and it is Hilton Head Prep, and what they have done this season. They have fought hard against teams who are in a class above them. In both Hilton Head Christian and JP2, they fought hard against both of them, and they are both very, very solid teams this season in JP2 and Hilton Head Christian. And I think they gave Hilton Head Christian a scare, and I was there for that game, obviously, with Marcus. They gave Hilton Head Christian a scare in the third quarter,
and
I thought, the momentum's on their side. They may win this ball game. They've been
really a play away.
They've been so close so many times. And look, PD's very good. Don't get me wrong; they're very good. But I think Prep has a team that can match them. I really do.
Right.
When they play their best football, I think they have a team that can match them.
All right, we'll find out.
A lot tighter than 10 points.
Less than 24 hours. We'll know in less than 24 hours, boys, because we're past 11 o'clock. So
I can't believe I made that pick. Man, Marcus, you and Kevin are really persuasive.
We still got 2 football games.
First down.
USCB basketball. It's 11 o'clock, boys. 1A Skeeza. We got 2 teams in there. Thomas Hayward going to Williamsburg Academy. Williamsburg beat them 40-12 earlier this season, but Carolina Academy just beat Thomas Hayward 2 weeks ago, and then Hayward just whomped them last week. So this Hayward team has been inconsistent to say the least, but seems to be playing its best ball the last couple of weeks. With the win over BA was huge, and then that set them up for a winnable game in that first round. And now they go to Williamsburg, which is, I think, unquestionably the best team in the division, based on what we've seen so far. But man, Hayward's had their number. Last year, Williamsburg beat them in the regular season, and then Hayward stomped them in the final. So I'm the crazy one here, maybe, but I ain't betting against Tony O'Banner and Josh Gibson. I'm just not doing it. If anybody's going to beat Williamsburg, I think it's them. I think they're in their heads. I think that those two guys are playing out of their minds right now, and I'm calling the upset on this one. I'm going Rebs on the road.
Don't forget about Dodge people.
Thomas Hayward has looked like a completely different team. I think they really found something in that BA game. At Carolina Academy, you just look 2 weeks apart. They lost to him 30-27. 2 weeks later, they beat him 47-20. Dominant win. This is a much different Thomas Hayward team. It's taken them a while, but this is the team that we expected them to be like. For the majority of the year, had some just rain cancellations, just some inconsistent play, but now you're starting to see Thomas Hayward play like the Thomas Hayward team. That they have showed like. And here's the thing: Thomas Hayward's a great team. Williamsburg is a very good football team.
They are.
They lost to Bethesda Academy by 2 points. A Bethesda Academy team has beaten not just
they routed everybody else.
3A skis. Like they have dominated mostly everybody they played this year. Actually, yeah. So like this Williamsburg team, explosive group, and that's an unbeaten Bethesda team at that as well. And that's, I think, the closest they played anyone
by far the closest
this year. I'm no disrespect to Thomas Hayward, but man, this Williamsburg team,
you're right.
They look legit. I mean, they look good against Dorchester Academy, although they did give up a couple of scores. But I just don't know how. I mean, Tony O'Banner can put up a good game. Thomas Hayward's got to stop him. You got to find that. You got to find a way to play defense, and that's the key thing for me. Yeah, Tony O'Banner can score a couple of TDs, but can you stop Williamsburg Academy? That is the question I have, and I'm not sold they're going to be getting enough stops. Small is just an unbelievable powerhouse. Grant Small at running back. They have just a really competent offensive line, and Bowler can sling it. He's a terrific quarterback. Thomas Hayward, tremendous team. I love the way Tony O'Banner has been playing, but man, I just don't think they're going to be able to stop the Stallions. So I'm going Williamsburg.
I'm gonna go with Williamsburg too. I mean, THA does have some big boys that can play with anybody. I mentioned Dodge Peoples. They've got a few others as well. But when you just take a look at what they have, and they're going up against a very good, if not elite style team, I just think that Tony O'Banner and Josh Gibson are not going to be quite enough. I think THA can keep it close for about maybe 3 quarters, and then Williamsburg's going to pull away deep into the second half. THA's had a great season, especially down the stretch, kind of like Hilton Head Prep and some of these other teams. It has been far from easy, but I like Williamsburg in this one by about a touchdown or so. Fine season for THA, and they'll use the good stuff learning from the second half of the season, especially to move into 26.
All right, Max?
I think if you're Williamsburg, we've mentioned this, PTSD vibes if you're Williamsburg, especially with last season. However, I've been looking over their schedule, and I've been watching film, obviously. And the one thing that I saw that really points out in terms of their schedule this year is one of their wins came to Florence Christian, who's a playoff team and a strong playoff team at that.
In the semis.
In the 3A level,
3A team.
This Williamsburg team, and they beat them by 2 scores. This team is no joke. I can't. I really want to say I really don't want to say no to Tonio Banner and Gibson and that team, but I think Williamsburg this time around has too good of a team for Thomas Hayward to handle. I'm taking Williamsburg in this one, but I wouldn't be shocked if Thomas Hayward made this close.
All right. I'm out on a limb, Kevin Libby.
So the Patriots won 27-14. No one in this market cares besides me and Wes. Hi, Wes.
No, that's not
I'm a Sox fan. I like. I mean, I will. I'm a Carolina Panthers fan, but I think it's cool to see the Patriots back on the map. Not just back on the map, but they're a true AFC contender at this point, 9-2. And what Drake May has been doing this year, pretty impressive stuff from and Mike Vrabel. What a coach he has been.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Kevin Libby, can you pick the game, please?
Yep.
I believe the Thomas Hayward Academy Rebels are going to lose.
All right. That's what he believes. Williamsburg for him. I'm on a limb.
You guys ever see that? There's a Saturday Night Live sketch. It's 2 hours into the show. You're going to love this, JJ. There's a Saturday Night Live sketch called Boston Kids. It's at historic Williamsburg. It has Britney Spears pumping butter.
Yeah.
It's the deep dive you need that you didn't know you needed.
Yeah. Kid runs on Duncan.
My God, you've seen it. Mind blown.
But anyway, one other game. So you guys all think Williamsburg's going to the finals. Who's going with them? Colleton Prep at home against Dorchester. They lost 28-14 to Dorchester on the road earlier this season, right? Wasn't that one on the road?
I think so.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, they're home in Waldoboro, where it's going to be all good vibes. I know that Cale Owens was disappointed with his performance against Dorchester and is eager for a rematch. I have been burned by Dorchester all year, thinking our teams can beat them, but they have not been able to. Dorchester has been a problem. But I do think Colleton Prep's kind of been keying up for this for a while. Yeah. And I think they're going to have a good game plan for a second time around. What I like in Colleton's favor is the same thing I liked for BA last week, really, that didn't come to fruition, which is that they're a little more diverse. They're a little more multiple. And so they can throw some different wrinkles that Dorchester maybe didn't see the first time. Whereas Dorchester's pretty much going to do what they're going to do. And I think that gives Colleton a little bit of an edge that should even it up. I am going Homer. I'm going with the Warhawks. Warhawks for me, please.
Man, I love watching and just hearing of what Greg Langdale is doing as a coach of this Colleton Prep team. I mean, this run they've had the last 4 years, 11 wins and 22, got the state championship game. They've won eight games in the last three. Each of the last 3 seasons, they've won 8 or more games. What a run that the Warhawks have just starting there. It's especially, I remember a few years ago. I mean, this was a team that, they were 4-7 in 2021. They were 3-5 in 2020, 3-5 in 2020. Tremendous run from this team, and Langdale's at the forefront. He is, Cole Davis was the guy who really, kickstarted this team into another gear. And then you see what has happened with Cale Owens. He has become quite a star as well under center, and the weapons have really improved in just terms of who he's been able to throw the ball to and those skill position guys. I think Colleton County Colleton Prep learned a lot from the Dorchester Academy defeat. I think playing them at home, getting the second chance to go up against the team. I like how they performed, that bounce back against Lee Academy. The offense looked good, and I think Kellen is ready for this opportunity. He's seen this Dorchester team before. He's ready for another chance to show a lot better against this Raiders side, and I expect to see a good game from Thomas Corbett, who's been one of their studs at wide receiver this year. And Owens knows how to make things happen with it, whether it's with his legs. 16 touchdowns on the year. He has been a monster on the ground, and if the line can do a good job and get some running lanes for him, probably have to make some throws as well. But I expect a better performance from Owens. I mean, what an opportunity for him. And don't forget about Tanner Wolf. He has been a major component as well.
Yep.
I just think Colleton Prep is going to be ready for a second opportunity against this team, and having them at home. I think Greg Langdale has and this entire team has learned a lot. You just look back at that first game against JP2, how much next game after that they walloped St. John's Christian. They know how to respond to adversity when this offense is cooking on cooking with gravy. They are tough to beat, and I think that Colleton Prep is going to be ready to go from the jump and show what this team has the capability of doing. I think it's going to be a tremendous night for Cal Owens. I think this defense is going to find a way to step up and make some important plays, and I have good vibes that Colleton Prep is going to make their ways to South Carolina State a week from now and compete for a state championship.
All right.
They are definitely electric, without question. I mean, they, as Wes said, they lost to JP2 in that first week, and they haven't looked back. Cale Owen has really impressed me for sure. Cale Owens, rather. He's really impressed me. This offense is something to definitely behold, and I'm going to go with Colleton Prep. I'm going to go with the Warhawks to defeat the Raiders. I really like this Colleton Prep team, and should be a definite fun matchup in the 2A final.
Max, you got your finger up.
So I had to look at the schedule because I wasn't sure if that game they had a few weeks back was either a home game for Colleton or an away game. It was a home game for Colleton Prep.
It was. I thought that was on the road for some reason.
28-14 at Colleton Prep. Here's the thing. That Dorchester team clearly is no joke. I mean, they've fought really hard this year. They actually had a pretty decent game against Williamsburg Academy. Only a 36-21 loss. I mean, that's not a bad game, especially with how good that Williamsburg team's been this year. And that is their one and only loss for Dorchester. This team is strong. Look, like Justin said, they're going to do what they do. They're going to be who they are. And we know what they are. They are, more so a running team rather than anything else. They love running the football, and they're damn good at doing it. Clearly, this season. And I think for Colleton Prep, I agree with Justin. I think that gives them a little bit of an edge because they know what this Dorchester team can do and how they run the offense. They've already seen them this year. So I think. Colleton Prep, the one thing I've noticed is Colleton Prep has been known, this season to learn from their mistakes and learn from whatever mistakes they make fairly quickly. And I think they've put this one on the map. They've put this one on their schedule. They've highlighted this one if it came to be, and they get another chance against Dorchester, that they would take full advantage of it. And I think they will on Friday night. I think Colleton Prep wins this one. But it's close, really close, too close for me to be comfortable with. I think Colleton wins by a touchdown.
Yeah, touchdown or less. Kevin Libby.
Birds of War.
Yeah.
We are the real Americans. All right. Yeah, he's going with the Warhawks. They're playing Raiders. So yeah, it was clear.
Raiders.
All right, so that brings us to a close. We all think that Colleton Prep's going to take us to Orangeburg.
Like I said, I mean, I there's not going through all those 6 games. There is not one that the slam
not
dunk.
one.
You
not
never
one.
know which week will be your last at this point. And I have a good feeling about these teams, but it's going to be very interesting to see, which teams advance because it is all these games are they're
toss-up type games.
Yeah,
I
they're
agree.
toss-ups. All six
Toss-up
of them.
at best.
Yeah.
At best, for our team. Like a couple of them are probably less than toss-up for us in real life.
Yes, but I'm saying that like I could see. I could.
Yeah,
There's,
it could all go
I could see ways all 6 teams could win,
sure.
and I could see, reversely how any. Yeah, I mean, no, I'm just saying that. All I'm saying is that like.
Oh yeah, there's a path either way.
There's a chance.
Yeah, no, I'm saying that it makes it to be a fun evening because I'm gonna make my best picks here, but I think all these teams are intriguing.
I agree with Wes. It makes it fun, but it also makes it a little nerve-wracking as well. Just to think that this could be the last week of football season.
If they all get down early, we start getting anxious.
Yeah.
And then it gets sad fast. But
really
good
quick.
news is
no.
After we get sad, we don't have time to be sad for long because then they just start playing basketball and wrestling, and so we're back at it. Speaking of basketball, we have done all our football previews. It is now 11:21. Kevin Libby came on ostensibly to tell us about USCB women's basketball because he is their new super fan. He was courtside, hyping them up. You love these girls, man.
No, I object. New super fan?
No. I guess not new, but you are the biggest. You're right. You were a super fan last year too. You're right.
I'm true to this.
So here we go. We got 2 home games this weekend. You got to look at them last weekend, as did I. Tell us what you're expecting from the USCB ladies this season.
I wrote it. I hope it's published. Everyone can check out the writing.
It will be published by tomorrow morning. I promise.
Thank you. Wes is a better writer than me, as are many people that appear on this broadcast. Justin. The women are tremendous this season, and the whole point of my article is to say get out and see them because they were good last year, and this year they might be better. JJ, you talked about watching that scrimmage a little bit with me and Jeff Riley. Brielle Bartel was super fun last season. She was my favorite player to watch. And we're watching right?
Yeah.
We're watching Courtney Campbell step in front of a train the same way Brielle Bartel was willing to sacrifice her body to win. In addition, as a freshman, she's played so much summer ball, she knows all of Sharon's offense. At least you can call it the plays and run what people know at this point in the season. Super fun. Other freshman is Azella. They think they call her Azella, I think.
Azella Kendrick.
Kendrick, 25, right? 6 feet tall?
Yeah.
6'1".
She's a boss, man, and she's learning how to play that position well as a young person underneath Brianna Pelote. And then we haven't even talked about these perimeter players. I'm talking about Jigsaw, who's really fun to watch, fundamentally. Go ahead.
And don't forget another full year of Lydia Gattosi, who, I mean...
Yep.
Yeah.
We saw
Hayward.
Well,
I guess one thing about this team, if everyone's healthy, and if everyone stays healthy, so it's going to be a very underrated team in this conference. I think that's the key thing is the last couple of years they've had bad luck in terms of, just keeping everyone in healthy on the court. If they can avoid injuries, that this team is going to be a potential lethal one to deal with as we go forward, especially with
the other one, Kevin,
having Gattosi alongside. And when Hayward's on the court, she's someone who can make some underrated impacts. I'm excited. I'm excited just to see everyone who's back. Madison Self as well, someone who can make important impacts. There's just a lot of players that you think that from years past they have an opportunity to get even better, and then you see those potential breakout players, others who can make an impact, like Courtney Campbell is I expect her to get some good minutes this year and compete.
I thought she was their best point guard on Saturday. When they put her a point in the fourth quarter, the offense ran so well. But the other one that I was going to mention, Kevin, is Sammy Bardinaro, the 5'7" wing who came from Aiken. So we basically did a transfer portal swap with for Michaela Primo.
Yeah.
And Bardenaro, I like her. I remember her at Aiken. And I really liked her on Saturday. The way she can knock down the outside shot, but she's a pretty good sized wing who can put it on the floor, and she's going to be a big addition. So I'm excited to see what the rotation looks like tomorrow and Saturday, and just kind of start to see like how many minutes can the freshmen hang and that kind of thing. But they look pretty good against a solid Claflin team. They had a pretty good year last year, so I'm excited. And then the guys should have two great games on the road. And Francis Marion. Both those games went to overtime last year down at Flagler.
Yeah, I will not be able to make it because I will be covering high school football on Friday, but looking forward to Saturday night against UVA-Wise to make my first.
And I will likely not be there Saturday because of softball in Orangeburg, but I will be there Friday. So
we got on the call Saturday.
I believe Kevin Libby will be making an appearance on the call, and I think Jeremy Orr is going to help out with the games on Saturday as well.
Sweet.
So not sure who else they have lined up, but that's who I've got lined up for them. So yeah, USCB hoops getting going this weekend, and Max has rejoined us again.
You on a color on Saturday, Kev, or
I think it's TBD.
Best Marv Albert.
I think he may do. Marcus. Yeah, he may. I think he'll do color to JO's play-by-play on one of the games.
Thank God, it's so much easier. Awesome.
But I think JO has to do. I think JO might have to do the PA for one of the games. So
okay.
I don't know. It's moving parts. We'll figure it out when we get.
I much prefer to be vibes. I'm fun. I prefer to focus on the vibes.
Yeah.
I'm here to be fun.
It's true.
True story. So that brings us to sponsors. Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, great place for seafood, sunsets, and cocktails on Hilton Head Island. Go check them out this great time of year because they got them fresh oysters that they grilled themselves. So get over to Hudson Seafood House on the Docks, proud sponsor of Under the Bus on the Loco Media Network. We also got HHI Windows and Doors, where Coach Barron is trying to improve your view of the Low Country. He's traded in his whistle, focused on a new kind of screens at HHI Windows and Doors. We also got Twenge and Twombly, our friends from Beaufort, who have a strange name but provide remarkable service in the personal injury field. So if you have any need for that, call on Twenge and Twombly. We've also got Reverence Wrestling Club, official wrestling sponsor of the LowcoSports and presenting sponsor of the Loco Grind. And we've got Jay's Barbershop, the place to be in Ridgeland, whether you need a haircut or not. Max, I'm going to let you lead off parting thoughts with some thoughts about the soccer that you were working tonight.
Yeah, so we had the South Carolina All-Stars District Tournament. Pretty much all these games are between Bluffton and Beaufort, so a bit of a rivalry there, clearly. We have seen it this year, too, because in the regular season we've just had in terms of the older age groups, we haven't had enough teams to actually put together leagues. So they go and travel against each other and play against each other. But we've seen what the rivalries can be, both with the parents as well as the players. It was a great night tonight, day 1 of 2. We are off from the tournament tomorrow, but the tournament resumes on Saturday morning. With a bunch more district championship games. 2 really great games tonight, actually, between the 8U girls teams of Bluffton and Beaufort and the 8U boys teams, of Bluffton and Beaufort. Both games went to PKs, which was absolutely fantastic to watch. And by the way, the parents were going absolutely insane. You could hear them. You could hear them.
Who won?
So 8U girls, Bluffton won 8U girls. So they are the district champs. They will be moving on to the state tournament, which is next weekend in Florence. 8U boys, I did not get a score as of right now. I'm trying to pick it up because I had to walk around between 4 different fields. So I have not gathered all the scores yet for these games.
Does anybody know who won these games?
Thanks, Justin.
They're 8 years old, buddy. Relax.
Yeah, they're 8.
Yeah.
We ain't trouble. But congratulations to the winners.
Yes.
Development is a key aspect of
Let me. The other games that were taking place, 12U girls took place. I believe Bluffton won the 12U girls district championship as well. Good game actually between those two. It was only a one point game in favor of Bluffton. Actually, all of them were actually fairly close, within 2 goals of each other. We didn't have any blowouts, which was great. Great soccer to watch. 15U boys rounded out the night. The Bluffton 15U boys taking the district title as well in a 3-0 match. That was the only game that was more than 2 goals. But I'm gonna get the rest of the scores because we are still trying to put it all together. It was a very chaotic and hectic night, just because we were all running around like chickens with our heads cut off. For those who are in management of Beaufort County Parks and Rec, but we do have a lot more games taking place on Saturday morning, throughout Saturday afternoon, and once those scores are put together, we'll get the final scores to let you know who all is going to Florence for the state tournament.
All right. And despite it being 11:30 on a school night, you have another parting thought, I see.
Yeah. It is time, fellas, for Mad Max's uni check. We're going to start off with this one. This is Marshall. Now, kind of a real base. It's a normal uniform except for one thing, the helmet. Now, I don't have great pictures of the helmet. This is as close as I could get to it.
Okay, numbers on the side.
So it's only one number on every helmet, 75.
The people who died.
Yeah. And by the way, if you see close enough, those names, if you see my clicker here.
I see it. It's got the names.
It's got the names going down the stripe
that's pretty fire.
Of the helmet. So I thought that was really cool. Obviously, everybody who's watched the movie knows the story of what took place. And obviously very tragic so many years ago, but it's still remembered for being one of the most tragic events that has ever happened in NCAA history across all sports. So really cool to see this. This helmet, and I really do love it. The other one, well, I got 2 more. This one, I don't know why, but James Madison for me has some of the cleanest looking uniforms in college football. Those all purple unis with the white helmet and JMU on the side. You can't.
It's a clean look.
You can't beat it. And then finally, for the second time this year, the Lobos of New Mexico wearing their red unis with red helmets. Very cool looking. I do like their unis.
I like that helmet.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've always liked the Lobos. I used to love to watch New Mexico basketball games in the pit when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I like Rebecca.
Yes.
Rebecca Lobo, Connecticut.
Oh yeah.
New York Liberty.
Big fan.
Big fan.
Those are the jerseys I have, and I still don't understand what atrocity New England Patriots were wearing tonight in Thursday night.
Yeah, those were weird.
I
liked them.
No, I didn't. I think they were stupid. It's those rivalry
teams are their colors.
It's those stupid rivalry uniforms because we saw those Arizona Cardinals ones, and it looked like someone splattered blood on them.
Not a big fan of those.
All those they're Murdoch Murders uniforms.
So anyway, that is the Mad Max uni check.
All right, Kevin Libby, I'm going to you.
Mad Max. Reaction to you, sir. First of all, uniforms are intended to separate people from their money.
Yeah.
Okay, keep going.
I'm trying to restate what Justin said, I think, about a week ago about how most of professional sports is about separating people from their money.
It sure is.
But tomorrow night and Saturday night, you can see some NCAA collegiate sports in your hometown if you're local. So please come watch women's sports because dang it, if there's something more fun than that, I have not. It's a great time, man. You guys, I gave you the new players and you already knew the core. My point is the core that you love has a supporting cast. Let's go.
By the way, speaking of collegiate sports, there is one game of interest tomorrow night in terms of college football that if you're a Clemson fan, a little bit of intrigue. They are on the road at Louisville on Friday night football.
So why are we playing on a Friday night? Especially
it is weird.
A game like that. Why?
Weird.
Why is this game on a Friday?
Money.
Yeah.
Big bucks. Huge bucks.
It's a short week, and it's tough for Clemson to have to go on the road. I mean, beginning of the year, it's just.
Hey, they had a great win against
Tony Kornheiser.
They did.
The answer to all your questions is money.
Yep. Hey, I'll tell you what, they're on a high note right now because they had a great win against the garbage dump of Florida State.
Make a bowl game. They need 2 more wins. They got Louisville, Furman, and South Carolina.
Good luck. That's all I'm going to say.
Good luck indeed.
They're beating. I think they're beating Furman.
Well, they're beating Furman, but I don't think they beat.
Well, they beat the other 2.
I would say they have decent odds to get 2 out of 3.
They do, but I don't think they beat South Carolina.
But I guess the question is, do their players want to play for Dabo or not? Because if they don't, then all they got to do is lose 2 of the next 3, and they won't have to anymore.
If Clemson does not, if Clemson misses out on the bowl game this year, would that be a seismic? Would that be a seismic shift in the decision of what happens to Dallas? Just
yes. His contract is guaranteed, right? He's got like 10 years at $15 million a year.
Yeah,
what a mistake that was.
Well, here's the deal: as long as they have a smart buyout in there, where he has to where any future employment offsets the buyout, that man's not going to retire. He's going to either go on TV or go coach somewhere. So you're not going to have to pay him.
God, could you imagine Dabo Sweeney
more than that now?
Could you imagine Dabo Sweeney on ESPN? Oh,
no. Look.
My God.
Well, here's the deal, though.
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's going somewhere. Ole Miss is opening up. Somebody's taking that job. If it ain't Dabo Sweeney, then it'll be some other retread.
Here's my thing.
Somewhere else.
If
James
I'm Lane
Franklin
Kiffin,
or somebody, he's going to get another job.
No, but for me, I would rather see Lane Kiffin stay at Ole Miss because I think what he's building there is something special, and I think could be special.
You think he win a national championship there?
I think he can. I
know he can at LSU.
No, he can at LSU, but I think in the next 2 to 3 years he could at Ole Miss. I
completely agree.
I think he's going to LSU.
I gotta let me stand on Dabo because everyone's a Dabo fan that's from South Carolina.
I'm a Dabo hater.
Me too, man. We're going to pay him $80 million to be on TV. He doesn't want to recruit. No D1 program wants a coach that's not interested in going to kids' houses.
Look, Kevin, we discussed this last week, and I'm going to say this right now because Marcus brought up the idea of him going to LSU, and obviously we all said no to that and it's for this very reason, Kevin. He's a good recruiter, but not in the transfer portal.
Right. Yes. Modern day.
Look, he's one of the best. During the 2010s era, during the
and you got to recruit the transfer portal because the freshmen are going to leave. They're going to go to the portal.
Kevin, I'm going to say this right now. Before the transfer portal became a thing, Dabo Sweeney was one of the best recruiters in this country.
I agree.
Without a doubt. And I still think he's a great recruiter. He recruits some really good kids, but he does not use the transfer portal. You don't use the transfer portal, you ain't going to do nothing in college football. That's just how it is now.
Nature of the beast.
So too.
Is completely different.
I think there's a decent chance Belichick's out after this year, and Franklin.
Yes, sir.
James Franklin's already going to the ACC.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Where's he going?
He's going to Virginia Tech.
Tech.
That's already announced?
Yes.
Yeah, that's announced.
We talked about that the other day.
Yeah, they hired him.
Oh, I missed
so many tax dollars. So many tax dollars.
Yep.
Oh yeah, but can't put
that
is
college football. Sorry, Kevin. Just saying.
Can't put that genie back in the bottle.
Highest paid government employee.
Marcus Walsh.
Marcus Walsh.
I'll keep it quick. Obviously, I've got the Hilton Head Wilson game with Max tomorrow, and Javon. Dang it, Javon is going to be keeping us on the air and adding some color as well. And then I am going to be traveling with Javon to Morrow, Georgia, to do play-by-play on Beaufort's own Saturday afternoon in the matchup between Lighthouse Christian College and the Clayton State Lakers. Looking forward to that game. Talked to both coaches on Wednesday, and so it's going to be a busy weekend for this guy.
By the way, this will be the first time me and Marcus have done a broadcast together.
Looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to it as well. This is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Absolutely. Going to be a great game.
Wes, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, real quick, the first thing that I had, so I mentioned it before, and I'm gonna bring it up because it just happened today. The Banana Ball expansion draft
Oh yeah.
Happened today, and Eric Jones, my good friend, is no longer a Savannah Banana. He's now a firefighter.
Really?
Picked
Ooh,
in
really?
the
That's shocking.
fifth overall pick in round 1.
I love the draft. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. A lot of players changing hands with this now this 16 league. So, if you just falling back, I mean, this the Banana team used to be, of course, Coastal Plain League. They kind of went to the full-time Banana Ball thing, and now it's a whole 16 league of their own, and it's just pretty crazy to see how they've evolved and made just like this own spectacle of everything they do. And I mean, just to see it being its own entity now, aside from Major League Baseball, it's just this entirely different brand of ball, and it's gotten so many guys with new opportunities that you never would have dreamed of. So, really cool opportunity for all those young men to be a part of what has become just a different form of baseball, but an amazing form of entertainment for kids love it, but there's a big time audience in these games. It's crazy how they sell out across the country. Big time demand over there. So, and of course, I got one more parting thought. It is the end of an era because this week, the very last United States penny was made by the U.S. Mint. They have discontinued the famous form of currency, the 1 cent penny.
Good riddance.
Yeah, it's over.
Yeah.
It's over. No more pennies will be produced. The Mint stopped production this week.
But they'll last for another 50 years because that's.
Oh yeah, they'll be around.
Yeah,
be around.
Hey,
we don't
boys,
need any more. I think we're good.
Did you guys know that cops are called COPPAs because of the COPPA buttons on British police uniforms?
I did not.
Oh, that's a fun fact.
Hey, COPPA.
CIL.
Kevin Libby spitting out the info.
All right. Well, I'll bring us
11:42.
home at 11:42 with a little quiz. Just a little quiz for you. What country do you think this
Australia
man will be representing? This is Brooks Van Esselston, mentioned earlier. He's a lacrosse star from May River High School, now at Florida Tech. His name is Brooks Van Esselston, and he looks like that. What country do you suppose he will be representing
Norway
on their national team at the Lacrosse Association Sixes Cup, the Pan American Lacrosse Association Sixes Cup?
Spain.
Something Slavic.
Van Esselston from Spain? Really?
Just a hunch.
Well,
you guys are not
the correct answer is not any less crazy. It is Brazil.
Wow,
pretty close.
How?
That was gonna be my guess. Oh,
much to my surprise, Brooks Van Esselston's grandfather is from Brazil. And
wow!
So
you believe
Brooks is eligible to play on the Brazilian national team, which he will be doing in the Pan American Sixes.
Practice your Portuguese.
Amazing.
Kid.
How cool is that?
That's
Brooks probably already knows Portuguese. He probably taught himself on Duolingo years ago. He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant young man.
That's not an easy language to learn. It's the same.
No.
Well,
if you already know Spanish, it's not that hard though.
It's similar. True.
It's similar, but not by much though.
No, but it's similar. You can
its own thing.
But it is its own thing. True. I have students who speak Portuguese, but
I have lost the ability to speak Portuguese.
I've lost the ability to speak English at this point.
Did you have the ability beforehand to learn to speak Portuguese?
I sang a few songs in it
before the incident.
Yeah,
this is already past the length of an average feature film in this modern era. So,
we're heading toward Marvel territory here, boys. So we're gonna close it down. It's been fun. It was necessary though because we took 2 nights off and stuff happened, and so we had some news to cover, and it's crossover season, and everything happens at once, so you have to talk about everything.
Time, fellas.
So with that said, thank you, boys. Kevin, Libby, thanks for joining us and showing us the girls. They are, of course, Beyonce, Kelly, and why am I drawing a blank?
Michelle Williams.
Michelle, named after Destiny's Child, of course, as one does. So thank you, boys. It's been a pleasure. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Most of all, thanks to everybody who showed up to listen or watch, especially Ms. Grant, Mama Grant. We see you. And Rob Lightfoot, we appreciate your contributions tonight, and always appreciate when you chime in with insight from up north, up around Sherall. So y'all be good. We'll see you tomorrow night for Lowco Pigskin Live. Until then, for Kevin Libby, Marcus Walsh, Max Araj, and Wes Kerr, I'm Justin Jarrett. Go Lowco.